Hey, happy Friday, everybody. It's chamber check-in time. Before we head into the weekend, I got a really cool company to share. It's Luminaire Smart Homes, and I've got David Foster and Darren Reynolds here to chat with. Hey, fellas.
Hey.
I look forward to learning more and sharing your guys' story. But I first get to share our sponsor for this series. It's Delta Dental of Idaho. You know, guys, Delta Dental of Idaho has been offering high quality, best in class dental insurance to Idahoans and businesses for 50 years. And with that, I get to share a fun factoid from their Tooth Truth series. Here we go.
Did you know that kids laugh around 400 times a day and adults just 15 times a day? Lighten up, adults.
Yeah, right? We need to laugh more.
Yeah.
So guys, I met you, David, a couple years ago when you brought this business to the chamber, and I was driving by 36 and State, over the last few months, and I saw your trucks there, and I thought, wow, he's got a retail space. So I had a visit with you, and you guys showed me the cool showroom. We could talk a little bit about that, but these chamber check-ins are really great ways to engage with our members and help share their stories. So why don't we just start with that? Why don't, David, can you start out and tell us a little bit about the origin story of Luminaire Smart Homes?
Yeah, absolutely. And 36th and Hill, by the way, just to make that clear.
What did I say? State?
Google works just fine. So I started, my background is a commercial and high-end residential electrician. I actually switched gears in college and went into the trades a billion years ago. It's actually been about 24, almost 25 years ago. And so I started Luminaire in 2005 in Seattle, and we were primarily a electrical contracting company with a focus on lighting design, and hadn't really got into the home automation space yet. I'm a two-state master electrician, and so that was kind of my background, was more on the technical and the install side. But stroke of luck or providence or whatever you want to call it, after we had to get a little creative in 2008. And it worked out that we were able to align with a company in Bellevue called Definitive Audio. And they're one of the, by far, one of the leading companies in the space of home theater, home automation. And so it really helped me to cut my teeth to bring Luminaire, at least start setting the focus, setting the stage back then that we would head this direction. It was a passion of mine, not only lighting and the beauty that you can create with lighting, but lighting design, and then to go beyond that into a fully functional smart home. It was a passion of mine way back then, and even more so now.
That's awesome. Darren, tell us a little bit about your background as well.
Sure. So I have been in the industry for quite some time. I'm a musician, I wouldn't say by trade, but that's where my passion stems from, the music industry. And I had the chance to begin.
He's actually very humble. Darren is a world-class drummer. I kid you not. Don't let the boyish looks belie the fact that this guy can rock a set of drums. It's amazing.
I like to be loud, so it works really well with this current gig. But back in '99, I started in home theater sales and installation, and then had the opportunity to shift into music performance and production. I owned a music venue and production company in Central Washington for almost 10 years, and then was in Nashville for about 6.5 years, doing touring, front of house, and audio production, concert production, festival management, that sort of thing. So, wow. And then some commercial audio integration over there. Had some time as a recording engineer as well. So, a big part of that audio passion I get to apply here to what we're doing. I love to take our approach, the approach that I would use to tuning systems in large spaces and venues, to tuning a sound system in a home or a high-end theater. And I just love it. It's so much fun.
Well, you know what's so cool about learning about the backgrounds of people and their businesses is it's a total segue into our next conversation. The credible piece, Dave, that you bring from your electrician background, and Darren, what your background in theater, it just aligns so well. So
for sure,
tell me and share with the viewers more about the smart home piece, David.
Yeah, sure. So, we get asked all the time, what is a smart home? That's kind of the obvious question. The simple answer is it's whatever you want it to be. If you have Alexa and you've got it hooked up to the internet, sure. And it's for some people that's a smart home, and there's absolutely no shame in that.
That's us. That's me.
My beautiful wife is a bit of a Luddite and prefers less technology than more. So, you can definitely scale it down, scale it up. What I believe and feel is a true smart home, like the penultimate version of a smart home, would be all of your utilities, all of your home systems working together in unison on a unified platform. That's maybe the best way to explain it. So, and we can go into kind of some of the demonstration of what that looks and feels like later on if you want. But, you imagine that you're on your way home from the airport after a 2-week vacation, let's say, and you have the ability before you leave to have your home kind of go into hibernation mode. Your HVAC, your heat goes down. There's not the need to have the lighting that you normally do. And you can schedule it, or with the touch of a button when you're on your way back from the airport, things go back to normal. It's really just kind of scratching the surface of what's available. But security, lighting, HVAC, comfort, entertainment, you can all easily roll that into one package and just make it this very simple. Unfortunately, people get the idea that you have all these widgets and these odd things and they sit on your network, and it can make things more complicated than simple. We are in the business of making things very simple, very easy to use, touch of a button, quick, shout out to Alexa or whatever you want to do to make your life more comfortable and easy to use for what works for you. So
I love it. Darren, tell us about the home theater side of the business.
Sure. Yeah, home theater is really exciting. I like to think of movies that have the ability to sort of transport us to a different place. The way that it's written, acted, directed, shot, all of those things that just make for an amazing experience. And most of us have been to a theater to see these movies, but I believe that we have the ability to provide an even better experience in the home with a proper home theater system, and a system that you feel in your chest. That, seriously, you can move your hair with some of our systems. That's the loud part I was talking about before. But if they're done right, they don't sound loud. They just envelop you with a sensation, an audio sensation that really transports you even further in that experience. So it's a lot of fun to add that layer. And, a lot of people watch movies, audio from their TV, maybe a set of speakers. And until you experience what it's like to be surrounded by audio, it's night and day. It's just such an amazing experience. So love to be able to deliver that.
Fair warning, once you've experienced that, it's hard to go back to, a little sound bar or something.
Yeah.
So do you guys help with, in the home theater install, are you able to hide the cords and everything? Because that's one thing that my wife really likes, is a nice, clean, crisp viewing area without the cords. Is that something that
100%? That's the difference between a DIY job and hiring a professional. And honestly, it just happens to be Darren and I are both meticulous about that kind of thing. We like to walk away from a project and not only have it work well as it should, but just to look phenomenal, to where that's where the magic part comes in. If you can't see any wires and cords and it just looks like something in a gallery, that's the way it should look.
That's so cool. Well, this we'll get to talk about your showroom here in a second. I came out and visited you, and you guys gave me a demo, and I sat in that room. And what was the old commercial, Darren? You told me about that.
Oh, it was the. Is it Live or is it Memorex? The dude in the chair.
The dude in the chair.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like. I was like taken to another place, really. And I know that was you showed me the bottom line and the top end of it all. And man, it sure sounded nice. And we were just listening to music. We weren't even watching a movie. So
it's pretty fun.
So let's talk about your showroom. You're on 36th and Hill. And are you open yet for the public?
We will be soon. We are going to do a soft opening in about 3 weeks. I'm actually leaving town, and so we just had to kind of adjust the schedule for that. But we'll be doing our soft opening before month end, and then we'll have the official opening soon after that. So stay tuned for that. It's coming. It's right around the corner.
Okay. I wanted to share your website here. It's boisesmarthomes.com. Everybody should go take a look at their offerings. Under the smart home piece, there's a ton of different products, you guys. And I'm glad you mentioned security, home security, because that's on everybody's mind all the time. You know, if you got a Ring and an Alexa, that's that's the bottom part of it. But I think that home security piece is so important. Mm-hmm. Hey, what else? While we got you, would you like to educate the viewers on and me?
Well, I think the critical piece about any system, whether it's just a security system or a home theater or whatever it is, a lighting control system, really the platform that has now just become a utility is your network. And so that's really one thing that we look at first, especially if you get into a larger sized smart home or you want to do more things. You've got more and more things all the time hanging out on your network. I mean, who knew 10 years ago there was going to be refrigerators hanging out on your network? But now that you have the ability to integrate, it's really important to get that piece right first. And so that's one thing that when we come in and do a consultation, which they're always free, we come in and do a consultation and meet you and find out what your needs are and kind of get a feel for your project. We start looking at the network first, just because it's such a critical piece of the infrastructure. And so a lot of people have, it's one of the things that we try to do is educate as we go, just because there's so many ideas about the network and what it should look and sound like. And honestly, you just want it to work in the background and never know that it's there. If you notice your network, something's wrong typically. So
right.
Anyway, that's kind of the baseline for mostly what we do is your network system.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think? Are you able to work on existing homes more, or do you like from the dealing with the builders from the very beginning? Tell me more about that.
We do both, and it totally depends. It has been an unfortunate part of the industry to get your licensed trades into the conversation early, MEP, your mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, and then forget your integrator or your AV guy until the very last part. And so we do, in answer to your question, we do both. We love retrofitting homes and making upgrades. We're doing those projects currently. We love new construction. That's also a different feel and look, and we're good at both. But whether you are designing or even thinking about a project right now or upgrades to your home, get us in there early, because the earlier we can get in and deal with the builders and kind of sort out some of the relevant questions, it's just a roadmap to success at that point if we can get in there early. So.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, we get a lot of calls these days as content. 8K is just around the corner. Everybody's got 4K content. They need higher bandwidth. Mm-hmm. And Wi-Fi was the thing for a long time. So people are buying new homes or recently built homes, and they've got no network in the walls, no wiring whatsoever.
That's
and they're just like, oh, my goodness, we need to add a network. So we do encounter that quite a lot. So, yeah, like Dave said, we would love to get in there beforehand and really build out that infrastructure from the beginning.
For sure.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that stuff. Hey, I want to say thanks for taking your time with me today to help share the Luminaire smart home story and a little bit about your backgrounds. It makes you guys even more credible. You guys know exactly what you're doing, quality work, and the products that you guys have access to are, top of the line. I like to call them XTR equipment. Thank you guys for your investment with the chamber.
Thank you, Paul.
It
Absolutely.
means a lot.
Yeah,
Thank you,
we're
Paul.
happy to be members.
Yep.
Awesome.
And if I could tuck in one last thing, we posted on Instagram before this. Please go and like and share that. And if you follow us today, you'll have the opportunity to win some cool prizes from Luminaire. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks.